Should California be its own country? I'd say yes. Go ahead. There's a new push for Cal exit in the Golden State.
Yeah, the initiative for the November 2028 ballot is starting to get signatures. It would need more than 500,000 to move forward. The founder of the Cal exit movement making a renewed push for the ballot measure and President Trump's return to the White House. Now, the effort coming as Mr. Trump visited the LA area Friday to survey damage caused by recent wildfires. The president was greeted by California Governor Gavin Newsom on the tarmac. The two have clashed over the wildfire response. President Trump has repeatedly placed blame on the state's mismanagement of water as well as its forests.
Last night, Trump announced on Truth Social the military entered California and, quote, turned on the water flowing abundantly from the Pacific Northwest and beyond, adding the days of putting a fake environmental argument over people are over. State officials, however, are denying Trump's claim. The California Department of Water Resources responding on X, writing, quote, the military did not enter California. The federal government restarted federal water pumps after they were offline for maintenance for 3 days. State water supplies in Southern California remain plentiful. Joining us now to discuss, California resident, Republican strategist, and CEO of VetCom, Kate Monroe. Kate, thanks for being here. Could you just tell us, being in California, what is the sentiment regarding Gavin Newsom right now? Do the state's residents believe that he is doing everything he can to provide relief for them?
California residents are not a fan of Governor Newsom, not just because of what he did in his response here to the fires, but also to leave our border open, our homeless, drugs, and lawlessness issues that we face. I find it hard to believe that we'll come up with 500,000 signatures to basically separate ourselves and become like our own little nation when we couldn't even get him recalled. Like, if there's anything we should focus on in California, it's recalling the governor, voting him out, and doing our part for the other 50, states in the United States of America, and stop thinking that we need to operate in a bubble, in a silo, apart from the rest of the country.
Having said all that, let's talk about the politics at work, though, in California. I think you're there, right? That's where you live, and I lived there for over a decade. Many wonderful things, including a soft breeze blowing the palm trees, just like they are right behind you now. And that reminds me that, oh yeah, that was pretty nice. Having said that, the taxes have gotten so high, but there is an infrastructure within California. They have defense manufacturers and subcontractors. They have natural resources. They have a large population. They have some great educational institutions. And I think, the 5th biggest GDP in the world, if it were a country. So there's no question that it could survive as a country. But it seems like maybe solving their problems would be a better idea, correct?
Oh, I 100% agree. I mean, in order for California to survive on its own, you'd have to retain most of the people that live here, right? Because you can't tax nobody. Where would the money come from? I don't think, if we were to be set apart from the rest of the United States, I definitely wouldn't want to live here. I am a large business owner. I'm the CEO of a multi-million-dollar company here in San Diego, and I would take my business elsewhere. And I think a lot of other people would as well. So without those tax dollars, you won't have the infrastructure. Point. And so I think that they kind of need to be a little bit more mindful, thinking that they want to sort of detain everyone here in California, because that's just not going to happen. You already saw a mass exodus, over the last few years, and that will come again if they try this.
Well, I mean, that's the other thing, is the mass exodus with the rebuilding. A lot of homes in the Pacific Palisades are going to have to be rebuilt. You saw the interaction between Donald Trump and Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass in terms of getting the permitting process. Do you think that President Trump is needed to insert his voice here in order to get this rebuild happening? Do they need the federal assistance? And also, do you think that there's a lot of people who might just decide not to rebuild but relocate?
I think a lot of people are going to relocate. Rebuilding in a place like that's very difficult. But I would sort of illuminate a larger issue that LA and that region has been trying to build that fast rail. They've been trying to build a smart city in that exact location. So I don't know that the powers that be in California really want that sort of rebuild. So it'd be interesting to see what happens in that region. You know, you have billions and billions and billions of homes and land burn, and I don't see it getting cleaned up quickly. Now, do I think that President Trump should step in here? He absolutely has. And I have an interesting piece of info. You know, I was actually down visiting with the Marines that are down here to secure our southern border here in San Diego. So there's a lot going on in California that I, as a Marine Corps veteran, am just very proud of. And, you know, a lot of that is coming on because of President Trump and what he's trying to do to protect our national security.
And I assume Coronado's not far from you right there as well. Kate Monroe, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. Appreciate you.